Motherland has arrived, and fortunately I am Superman of Doom. The people of the Motherland have come, and fortunately I am Superman of Doom. Chapter 29. Until the moment he stepped into the cockpit, he thought so. As soon as he entered the door, Meng stepped directly on the cabin floor covered with biomucous membranes. Look around. It can be seen that many human corpses are piled up here. Most of the corpses have long been chested, and hundreds of face-holding worm eggs are growing. A giant alien more than 10 meters tall is in the bridge area, using this as a nest. A smooth and slender head is moving towards this side, and the inner grooves are fierce. Suddenly, 3 adult aliens burst out from the lurking shadows. I knew. Meng looked back and saw that outside the door behind him, there were also 2 adult aliens dragging the corpse back. No. Now it's really not working. Not to mention that there is still 30 meters away from the cockpit. Even if you have the strength to break through, it will take a certain amount of time to restart the spacecraft. Moreover, now Meng has no strength to even move, and the support here is all due to the will of artificial intelligence characteristics. Meng smiled with relief. He tried his best, and with his own ability, it really ended here. Right now, I really want to lie down, get a good night's sleep, and not think about anything else. Meng was in a trance, looking at the hideous and terrifying deformed body of the alien queen in front of him. I have seen a certain existence, but it is much more terrifying than you. A flash of light suddenly flashed through my mind. A flash of realization flashed in Meng's eyes, and he muttered to himself, so it is, I have been afraid in my heart. Quote, it turns out that, I came here on purpose, to force myself into this desperate situation, to force myself to make that choice, to face my true self, to face that nightmare 3 years ago. Meng closed his eyes, his body naturally fell backwards, and his tired consciousness fell towards a never-ending fall. Meanwhile, adult aliens, face-hugging insects. The deformed and terrifying alien monster rushed towards the silver-haired boy from all directions, densely trying to eat away at his body in an instant. But at this time, a creepy aura of destruction suddenly glowed from the teenager's body. The next moment, the silver-haired boy who had not completely fallen to the ground suddenly levitated, his eyes and mouth suddenly opened viciously, and a powerful crimson gold light overflowed from it. And the light instantly penetrated the top of the cockpit, the laser disappeared into the end of the sky outside, and red energy lightning burst out from the surface of the body. Moisture, just near one of the wisps of lightning energy, an adult alien immediately annihilated into ashes. At this moment, the alien queen, who didn't know what fear was, felt fear from the genes in her body, and turned around and wanted to escape. However, by the time it saw the light of destruction, it was too late. Boom! With the silver-haired boy's body as the center, a violent red energy burst outward, mixed with a mysterious substance, destroying everything inside and outside the cockpit. Alien queen, adult alien, faceworm, alien snake, black water. Mechanical helm stations, metal floors, exoskeleton bulkheads. Even the air, all existence, to destruction. Chapter 0033, Doomsday Day, Superman. Kryptonian civilization. The sky is stained with blood, and the earth is swallowed by darkness. The eve of the collapse of the Krypton core due to overexploitation of core energy. Quadruple A. The screams and wails of countless Kryptonian residents were heard far away in the night. An unknown monster that looked like a terrified entity was rampaging through the city. And the skyscrapers on the ground, which symbolized high civilization, shattered when touched, and even the spacecraft that fled to the sky for thousands of meters could not be spared. Thundered. Every start, jump, and landing of unknown monsters causes the ravaged earth to emit a crazy cry. It fell into the sky from the bottom up like a reversed meteorite, and another spaceship known as the Tip of Krypton was shattered, bursting into a terrifying and stunning fire in the sky. And countless wreckage and debris splashed all over the world with flames. The planet's core hasn't completely collapsed, and this has turned into a purgatory. Stop it. Kill it. A large number of elite armed forces and warships with Kryptonian soldier genes arrived at the scene, but soon they were as desperate as the Kryptonian inhabitants of the city. And the demonic unknown monster ignored the energy cannonballs and lasers. No, it is not to ignore, but to completely anger the other party. Roar. The soaring roar of the trembling soul formed an actual shockwave and shock, Dusty. In the next instant, a huge monster burst out of the fire with a hurricane. It is hard to imagine that the body that is obviously strong and bloated has lightning-fast speed. And the area where the troops are located is instantly plowed out of an abyss hundreds of meters long. And inside and outside the abyss are the remains of the bodies and armor fragments of Kryptonian soldiers. It once again jumped high and crashed into the high-altitude battleship, completely burning the sky, and destroying it wherever it passed. Even if the surviving Kryptonian soldiers had courage and loyalty engraved in their genes, they still could not suppress their fear and despair at this time and fell to the ground. Their tear-blurred eyes raised high, and their pupils that were constantly trembling and spreading fell towards this side. That monster has a 3-meter-tall giant body, as if the strong muscle fibers warted by molten iron are exposed. The gray-white hard exoskeleton almost covers the whole body. And from the end of the fist to the back, a hideous Senbai bone spur protrudes, as if the energy just now was converted into physical energy. And the body surface continuously released a red light like electric light. Its downward eyes and open mouth surged red, and then burst out a red laser full of destruction to destroy everything below. In the center of civilization, the Elder TC City, which controls the authority of Krypton, is dying one after another. So what is it? A Kryptonian elder looked at the distant city fires and asked in horror. The old man of Krypton, sitting on the seat, lowered his eyes. A century ago, a crazy Kryptonian scientist fused the Kryptonian gene with other biological experiments to create a taboo existence that can only kill and fight. That was one of the biggest mistakes made in the history of Kryptonian civilization. Quote, "It is precisely because of this that the Kryptonian civilization later issued a decree prohibiting the fusion of Kryptonian genes with other extraterrestrial genes." Oh my god. Elder Krypton's body couldn't stop shaking, and when he realized what it was, he couldn't hide the look of fear on his face. A century ago, how many Kryptonian residents and soldiers were sacrificed to capture it? Now that it's back, how can we stop it? We can't stop it. It comes with killing and destruction. The old Kryptonian face was full of tiredness, and finally smiled with relief. It doesn't matter anyway, doesn't it? No matter how our civilization perished. Today is destined to be the day of destruction of Krypton. Quote, "Madmen, you are all a bunch of crazy people." The Krypton elders were trembling all over and wanted to escape, but as the other party said, Krypton would eventually usher in destruction today. Killed by that being opposed to faith may also be the fate of the Kryptonian race. Then, as if Elder Krypton had a premonition, his aging body suddenly froze. He slowly turned his head, his pupils dilated little by little, reflecting the terrifying figure jumping from the blood-red sky towards this side outside the window. Destroy. Doomsday is here. On the outskirts of the Kryptonian civilization, a building fortress. A Kryptonian couple are hugging each other tightly, and in their arms, a newborn baby is asleep. He's cute, isn't he? The woman's face was filled with a happy smile, which then transformed into a thick sadness, but we can no longer watch him grow up. Know that Krypton has no future. The man spoke in a deep voice. There is not much time left for us. I have found the planet suitable for him, where he will thrive, absorb the solar radiation energy there, and serve as the newborn son of Krypton, the child of hope. Quote, "The woman is not as optimistic as her husband, her eyes full of reluctance and sorrow. He is also the only outlier there. He will be the god and lead him to a new era." After the man said this, his attitude was extremely resolute. "Hurry up and prepare the Krypton spaceship, and after injecting the Kryptonian life code into his body, I will send him out of here." The woman put away her sadness and began to act. The man placed the sleeping baby on a metal crib and took out an ancient object resembling a small skull from his arms, and the little skull immediately floated on the crib free from gravity. And a subtle energy overflowed into the baby's body under the light of the light. DD, the alarm system beeps sharply. It's not good. 5 warships have been detected approaching this way. While manipulating the virtual screen, the woman's face changed slightly and she issued an early warning. It should be General Krypton who discovered that I stole the code of life. The man quickly walked to the inner wall of the fortress on the side, put on a set of metal armor that automatically popped out, and his body fit perfectly with the armor. I'll stop them. After absorbing the life code, you send him into the spaceship. Wait. The woman suddenly looked at the virtual screen in amazement, revealing an incredible expression. The signals of 4 battleships disappeared at once, and 1 battleship was accelerating outward, as if fleeing something. Outside, what the hell is going on? As soon as the woman's words fell, the fortress building continued to tremble, as if a giant was holding a giant hammer and smashing the earth. Destroy 4 Krypton battleships in an instant. First chapter, previous chapter 29, 140th, next chapter.